Now the ISO standards are many. There are quite many. So there is the one that deals with management systems like the ISO 9001:2015 standard. There's also the one that deals with health, occupational health and safety. There is the one that deals with environmental management system, the ISO 14001, and so on and so on and so forth. I'm sorry, maybe I'm not starting where I'm supposed to start, but usually, like I tell my friends, we'll start and it's almost like a boxing match. While you are still exchanging pleasantries, the boxing bout has started. So I guess it's the same pattern. So forgive me if I didn't start from the beginning. But don't worry, we would also go back and talk about some of the things you need to hear. And the truth is that it is not, I do not see, would you want to do business like every other person? See my mom makes ewa going and sells beans by the side, and of course everybody comes and they like it. But how do I scale it up? Especially looking at the environment where I am, and I want to make this a real strong global brand. I'll give you an example of what quality management system does and the uniformity and the kind of output that you would expect to see in products or services. I'm sure some of us here, maybe I might not be as Gen Z, or what generation is this now? Please remind me. Don't worry, I'll give you my age bracket so that you know where I fall. Maybe I'm among the baby boomers, or maybe Gen X or something, but I don't know. Some of these things, it's difficult to keep track, especially amongst young people these days. But I'll give an example. Growing up, the first eatery that I ever had the opportunity of going to when I was young was Sweet Sensation. I think it's still around, but I know there are different other brands now. You have things like, and what's that new one that is expanding very quickly now? Something go, eh? Item 7, exactly. Then when we hear item 7, it means menu on the table, but now it has become a name on its own. So you see item 7 moving on, growing, expanding, which is good. However, when, growing up, started out going to eat at Sweet Sensation. So I liked Sweet Sensation. I like their meal. So I take the jollof rice, for instance, or the fried rice. And every time I have any small money, and I'll tell you a bit of that story later on. Just got a job, and I feel the best way to give myself a treat. Actually, I'm the one that did the work. Let me even go and even enjoy the money a bit. I'll go to the restaurant and, of course, to buy something. Maybe a meal, rice and chicken, and maybe soda. So I got my taste buds got used to eating that Sweet Sensation jollof rice. But you know what? Because I'm very addicted, quote and unquote, to that brand, every time I go to any Sweet Sensation restaurant, the jollof rice or the fried rice will taste almost exactly the same. Whether I'm buying it in maybe Okeodo, or I'm buying it at Pipeline, or I'm buying it at Taiwo. Anywhere there is a restaurant of Sweet Sensation located, if you go there to eat the food, you will almost know that it's the same quality. The same way, if you are a fan of maybe Mr. Biggs, for instance, you go there to eat their food, every time you go, you will meet the same standard. Why is that so? The taste of the food almost always the same. Why is that so? It is because of quality that has been standardized in some form. So at the end of the day, somebody will say the recipe. The recipe is maybe 2 cups of rice, to 1 teaspoon of sugar, to 1 teaspoon of salt, to 2 cubes of maybe Maggi seasoning or more, or whatever. Set it at various times like this, like this, like that. At the end of the day, it will give you the outcome. You get what I'm trying to say? So people have set standards like that. And ultimately, what they are trying to do is to ensure that the quality is maintained. So at some point, you are looking for that assurance that the product is going to give you the exact same outcome that makes your customers or your clients want to come to you. So that's all about quality. Let's take it back to why we are here. Talking about businesses and talking about career. I must say that if you find yourself here and you are, whether you are part of the organizers or whether you are invited into a forum like this, I would say that without missing words, that you are at the right place. You are at the right place because the world as we currently know it is fast changing at even breakneck speed. And I'm telling you, especially for those of us that are still young, we have gadgets, you always want to see what is happening. Things are changing at proportions that your brain, for adaptability, for sustainability, must also change with those changes that you see. If you sit down, like they say, if you snooze, you lose, because you lose touch of current happenings. Why is it, for instance, that our parents send us to school? Or what is that desire, that thing that drives us to want to go to school? Now, I will say that some of those things, as good as they may seem, that they are also dogmas. They are dogmas because they are things that we have been prepared to believe is the way that life should go. I've been giving back to, at age 5 or 6, I go to school, primary school. At age 10 or 11, I get into secondary school. At 16, I leave secondary school. I aspire to get into the university or polytechnic or something. And you get in there, and after 4 years, or 5 years, or 6 years at most, depending on the course you're studying, you are out and about, maybe your NYSC. And once you are done, you are out and about looking for a job. And at that point, you are out and about, maybe looking for a life partner. And after that, you are looking for maybe how to procreate. And after that, what next? Somebody said something. What next? No, of course, up to that period, you are sustaining, you are doing all of that. Life is following that sequence. Every other person is following that sequence. Ultimately, you also get old, you grow old, you have children, you are worried about the children, then you are thinking, and when will my children get married? And you continue like that. You continue like that. It's a rat race. Have you ever stopped to think that, why is it that even at your level, either as undergraduates or even as graduates, why is it that all of those things they burden us with? I was sharing with you yesterday. All of those dy, dx, differentiation, you are solving calculus, you are doing this and that. So how are you able to apply those things to life? Have you ever applied dy, dx to life? And they give you huge assignments. You work. Sometimes, many of us are guilty of plagiarism. You just say, oh, I'm tired, I'll copy and I'll paste and I'll submit. When you do all that, how does that affect you as an individual? How does that impact society? And if all you do is to do all of that so that you can get a paid employment, and know how, the employer will not give you what would be adequate to sustain you. No amount of money would. I'll tell you that because I'm also an employer of labor, and I also am the head of workforce, like you rightly said, workforce and corporate services. Year in, year out, I run recruitment tests. I see young graduates. I see some of them, they want to get into the employment bracket, but you're excited. You come in and I say, okay, I'll offer you 500,000 per month, you're already doing your quick math. Okay, the 500, that will give me, give or take, 6 million naira per annum. You're already thinking of what you want to do with that money. But of course, it is not the money. Your employer is buying your time. If my MD were seated here, let me assume she is here. By the way, my MD is a female, and that's to tell you that females can do great things. And looking at the population of people we have here, I'm not surprised by just mentally doing the math. I know we have over 65 to 70% female-male ratio in this place. And I'm not surprised. And what does that tell you? That tells you that for you to get to the very next level, you cannot ignore the female folk. Because perhaps they are the ones that would, people will say they are quick to make decisions, or they are quick to take actions, but they are also the ones that are always seeking knowledge. They are the ones that want to find out the why behind certain happenings. And you know, people say, at maybe at national level, they say without the woman, there is no real national development. And I agree 100%. Without the female folks, there is no real national development. So, any society that ignores that gender, that society is already setting itself on a very slippery slope. A very, very slippery slope. You can't make much impact. So back to all of this, you find out that, so why am I doing what I'm doing? Every time I employ, I see the excitement when I employ people. Of course they are happy that life actually is in phases. It's in phases. It is not, it is based on what you know now. And I know this now, I just need the money for now. But I tell you the truth, the real essence, the real driver for societal growth, for your own personal growth, it is not just in leaving school and jumping out to look for paid employment. It is something I've tested, I've seen. I can't say that I am an entrepreneur in that sense, because that means you'll be asking me questions like, okay, how many businesses do you own? What is this? What is that? What is this? But the truth is that in all of us, there is some form of entrepreneurial spirit, and that is what drives society. And that's where you can get real happiness. How many of us have heard of the Maslow's theory of needs? Anybody? Maslow's hierarchy of needs. All right, don't worry. There is still opportunity for learning. I was asking to me whether it's possible to project. I have my laptop here, but you can read it up. Please read it up. Another thing they say about the black man, that the easiest way to hide information from them is to slot it in a book. It is always very true. Most of the time, we only read, even as students, we read just to pass our exams and go. That's why I'm bringing it back to that point. You want to do this, you want to do this, and then you go. After that, you don't care anymore. I can tell you, majority of us, the moment you finish the exams, you do not want to even remember what's in that textbook anymore. Like, this one, let it just go. But you know, at this stage, we should be thinking of the future in a very critical way. How do we build a sustainable future? First and foremost, for ourselves, and then for society. If all we do is to leave school and come and look for the job available, so when our children come, which job will they do? Many of us will be shouting Dangote. I don't want to talk about other entrepreneurs in America, the other parts of the world, but let's even take it home to Nigeria. How many of us are willing to go into ventures that are viable or that we can build in a very sustainable manner? Ask yourself, how many companies do you know in Nigeria, or let's even make it a bit broader, in Africa, West Africa for instance, that you know that have lasted 20, 25, 30 years? And why did they all fizzle out? Has anybody come across the book by Jim Collins called Built to Last? You can take that book down as well. Built to Last. So you have materials for real, that can drive real growth and sustainable development. You must begin to challenge our thinking. You must begin to challenge the dogma. Think about it. I'm not saying there's anything wrong in aspiring for academic excellence. If I say that, then I'm a hypocrite. Because in my bio, beyond that, beyond doing all of this, at this very moment, I'm also aspiring to do a PhD. I'm already a PhD student in a university not in Nigeria, but in the US. Of course, studying via correspondence, distance learning. So if I can choose to next that, we also went for the bank. It used to be called Bank PhD, but that's what you call the Keystone Bank now. And excellent individuals. You will know, even amongst you in your class, you just say that this my classmate is very good. And what were we doing? At the end of the day, the very intelligent lawyer, the skillful doctor, the chemical engineer, all of us are seated in that hall trying to get admission or trying to get employment in the bank. Of course, at the end of the day, like they say, the cream will come to the top. We always find its way to the top. And we got there. We started working in the bank. Now, that lawyer is not working in the legal department, for your information. She's working as a front teller in cash and operations. The doctor is not in any way near medicine. He's also working in fund transfer unit. A complete switch. And so what then happened to all of the things they knew how to do best? Society has decided to suck us up, and eventually where our God-given talent is, we decided to jettison it just so that we can feed our tummy, because it's about the economy, it's about sustenance. So we leave all of that behind, and then we pursue some kind of employment in places where ultimately we are not very ordinarily comfortable with. So you live where you are doing, where you are an A student, or where you will be an A class individual, and you come to where you are just average. I look at them and I feel very sorry. Not sorry for them as individuals, but sorry for society, because it is society's loss. How will a brilliant mind like this end up doing this? Fine, we get the money at the time, but do not forget, I said it's a rat race. You eventually get into doing that work, and the pressure of the work will keep you on your toes. You forget about every other thing. I'll give you an example myself. Getting into that line of profession, which by the way, that's what I studied. But I knew that this is just transactional. This will not take us anywhere. How many established bankers have you known that say, okay, he's so good at it, and then now formed his own bank? Very, very few. Very, very, very few. The rest are sharks, entrepreneurs. They just want to come and make money. So we get into the banking world, and the next, we are being told, we are being given targets. Some of us are familiar with some of the stories. Okay, at the time, about 26 years ago, that's 2020, I was asked, okay, my target was 32 million naira. That's my cabal size I was given. Now, how do I meet up these numbers? Then, of course, and you have private banking, then you now have institution. You are trying to look for who would give you deposits. The person that is going to like this. By the way, in my eyes, I was doing very well. Things are the way they are. There's something is wrong, because it means that you are just going with the flow. somebody will call it like a driftwood. You know, a driftwood, a piece of wood in the ocean, and anywhere the tide, anywhere the wind takes it, it keeps going and going and going, and you mustn't live your life like that. I thought about it hard, and I just didn't know. I went back home. He said, well, he doesn't have, but he will support me with whatever he has. He never gave me any money. I never went back to him to ask for money again. But that month, in 2010, helped me to change the way, my trajectory of thinking. It helped me change the way I see things and the way I also see personal and career development. I said, okay, I have attained this. Fine, I was a chartered banker at the time. But what is the need for me? What is the need for society? How can this take me to that place that I want to be? And that place I want to be is not a place of being called the wealthiest man in terms of bank account, but it is that place in that Maslow's hierarchy of needs where you get to a place of actualization, a place of fulfilled preaching, and I see them start crying and weeping now. We say, what's wrong with these ones? So why are you crying now? Or some, when I see them, they are falling down, and when I say, well, this, I don't like it. To be honest, I'll just say, I'll sit and I'll be watching them. But you know that while I was thinking all through that week, so the weekend, I sat down and I thought, and I went to church. I think it was March 10th, 2010. I got to church. And to be honest, because my mind had been heavy with all of the things I've heard, I've come to think of it. I am being celebrated at work, that Kingsley is a performer, not that I am under pressure, but I was just thinking, you know, when you are restless, you are just saying, what is that thing? And when I got there, and it was even a female minister, she mounted the pulpit like this, and no sermon, and she was just singing that Hallelujah song, that the Lord God Almighty reigns. You know the song? Hallelujah. And only that song, to be honest, as I put my face down, 2 thick drops of tears fell on my lap. Then, by the time I put my hands on my face, water, I was ashamed. Because I said, see me that is castigating people that will be crying in church and say some Holy Spirit is moving them. What is all this? And I found myself weeping. No sermon. Believe me, no sermon. And guess what? When I finished, I was sobbing uncontrollably. I tried, each time I tried to dry my tears, it still comes down again. People around would think, oh, maybe this guy just got a bad news, or maybe something bad has happened to him. Even me myself, I didn't understand. But when I left church that Sunday, got home, I just felt some kind of peace. But I didn't know, so what is that tears? Why? What's all that? The next day, as I was going to work, I got my light bulb moment. It was as if somebody just flicked on a light in my brain. I got to the office, usually to my branch. Usually we sign before 7:30. We sign the register, the attendance register. As I got to the office and I was signing, some of my colleagues also came about the same time, and I was telling them that today is the last time I will sign on this register. And they were looking, what's wrong with this one? So today is the last time we sign on this register. Even one of them was joking. Kingsley, hope you don't want to go and plan to do something bad. You want to go and kill yourself. What? Why would you say this is the last time? Then I didn't say anything. And I didn't question and I didn't explain. And we got to work. Of course, and like they tell us in the bank in those days, if you have any problem, you leave it at the doormat, you go there and go and act. So that the office is like a stage. So we go and act and pretend everything is fine. Smile to customers, do anything they want you to do. Whether you are dying inside, whether you've not eaten, whether it's nobody's business. So we'll go out there to act every day. So when it was around 3, I just took my lapel pin, I took my ID card, and I took a pen. I will never forget, I was wearing a gray suit. I left the branch, I took a driver, and I went to the regional head office. Guess what? I went there, and what did I go to do? I asked for the business operations manager for a sheet of paper, an A4 paper. He gave me, and I resigned. Who resigns like that? I just went there, and the lady said, Kingsley, you have another job? Back then, it was easy. We were switching between banks. You work in bank A this month, before you know it, in 2 months' time, you say you are in bank C. Next tomorrow, another bank has poached you. So they thought I had gotten a job. I said, no. And mind you, quote and unquote, I was supposed to be happy doing what I'm doing. People even see me as a performer. I go to an NPR session, nobody blasts me. But I just got a revelation that you wanted to study banking, you've done it. You say you want to become a professional banker, you've done it. So now are you happy? Yes, but I'm doing well. But again, that is not the ultimate. So how does this, like I said, how does this amplify societal good? Even if it puts more food on my table. I was a young guy, maybe then I was free. But incidentally, why that decision became that critical was because just 4 months earlier, on the 7th of March, of November, I got married. And 4 months after, I was just going to drop my resignation letter, just like that. I don't have a job, I don't have a business, no side hustle, no money saved anywhere, like that. And when I finished, they asked if they could keep the letter. The woman was so concerned that she said, the lady then, the HR manager, was so concerned that she said, Kingsley, I'm not going to submit this. Let me wait till Wednesday. If you are still sure that you want to resign, then I can turn it in. I said, but it's fine. Then in the meantime, can you make a copy for me? And she did. She gave me a copy of the letter. I tucked it in my jacket, and I went back to my branch to do work normally. Nobody knew anything. When I was signing out that evening at about 5:30, I knew something. I knew that I'm not coming back here again. And like they say, the rest is history. I got back home the next day. My wife got up and said, Kingsley, because usually I would leave at about 5:30. Are you not going to work? I was rolling, and then it was 7. She herself was going to work. I said, you are still here. Are you not going to work? I said, well, immediately I said, I'm on leave. Which leave? You just married 4 months ago. I knew you took leave, so how can it be that it's leave? I said, I'm on leave. But even me giving that answer, I wasn't convinced by myself that that should be the answer, because I knew I'd taken a decision that puts finality to something. And besides, it's not just about me anymore. If I were single, I would say I would bear the burden all by myself. But how you went there to go and carry somebody from our house, put in your house, and then you quit the job that is putting food on people's table. It looked reckless and irresponsible, right? But I just looked at her. I said, see, Nana, I've resigned. She said, resign. What happened? Did anything happen at work? Did they send you away? I said, no, because I don't want more questions. That's why I just said, you know what, I've resigned. And I went. So as she was still trying to process what I've said, I just went. Then I used to live in one small apartment. I just went around to the wardrobe, reached out for my grey suit, and I brought out a copy of the letter and I showed her. Guess what? She busted into cried. You just think somebody had died. She was wailing that so what are you going to do now? I said, well, I know that I would, as at that time I had registered for my master's program in Ife. And I said, don't worry, I don't know. Let me just use this time to focus and finish. I know God will bring me. She cried out she would not go to work. In fact, in going to work, I'm sure she got to work maybe around 10 o'clock. That day, both of us would have lost our jobs. Because on the way, they kept calling her and she was saying traffic before she got to the office. So she got there, and for 3 months, I just decided I will focus on my master's program. I was going from here to Ife, from Lagos to Ife, and that let me just finish this program. I don't want to do all of this anymore. My then branch manager felt quite uncomfortable and he was asking, Kingsley, did anything happen? And then UBA, because Standard Trust Bank had acquired UBA then. I'm sure this may sound like news to some of us. If you know Standard Trust Bank, a small, agile bank, perhaps they are one of the first banks in Nigeria to introduce real-time banking, where you would deposit your money now, in this minute, in the next minute, you are receiving your money live. You can deposit your money in Ilorin to somebody in Meduguri. Within a minute, the person in Meduguri is already seeing the money. It's unlike these days that you just do it. Then it was novel. It's not unlike now that you just pick up your phone, you send money, the person gets it. Banking in those days, you have to give it time. It has to boot before it gets. So we introduced technology and we're able to achieve that. So a small bank suddenly acquiring a big bank. United Bank for Africa was perhaps one of the biggest, largest banks by balance sheet size in West Africa at the time. Let me not bore you with too much of the story, but that moment where I decided to do a career switch, knowing that you must think deeply in taking certain decisions, especially, and you must be willing to take the risk. I'm not saying go and be reckless like me, because maybe God did not reveal it to me the way He revealed it to you, but you must question what you do. And at a young age, I started questioning why things are the way they are, and it helped me. In the long run, I switched career. When I left the bank, I went away 6 months. Mind you, that same month of March, 31st of March, my house rent was going to be due. And will the woman's salary be enough to take care of all of this? The obvious answer is no. And the savings I have will not take me more than 2 months. Because that's how sometimes reckless where we live from hand to mouth. You ask from paycheck to paycheck, as they say. You get the money now, you are spending the money the next minute. You believe that at month end, more money will come. And then in the bank, they will give us, you have the opportunity of collecting loans. So you keep collecting loan, you are robbing Peter to pay Paul, because ultimately you need to pay that. Anyway, and we kept on living like that. And I have friends that are living like that till date. Some of them are still in the bank. But have they found fulfillment? I don't want to be judgmental. I'm not being judgmental. I'm only being curious. So that's also what I'm trying to pass across to us. We do not have to be judgmental, but we must be curious. Why are things the way they are? At the end of the day, I did a switch. And that switch led me to doing so many other things. Left the banking industry, I went back to the finance industry. I was the head of credit in the finance firm. I was still questioning why things are the way they are. And ultimately, I left. Somebody just said, I'm looking for somebody that is in the finance space, that is trustworthy, and all of that. And while I was in there, somebody just mentioned that there's a guy. Let me call him, I don't know if you'll be interested. It was for someone, for my friend's mother's funeral. I just went, like, we just go out for an event. And the next thing he called me, would you be interested, and talk to me? I said, okay, I'll give it a try. Not knowing that it was not just a finance function I'm going into. I was also going into the space of personnel management, as we call it then, or what you know as HR, because I could do a lot of those people management stuff. I became the head of HR, but I was actually doing internal audit and compliance for that company. This same entrepreneur saw opportunities in the oil and gas space and set up a company. And of course, in setting up the company, the first set of people you want to use are the people you know. That's how I moved from being a banker to being a people manager to the oil and gas space as even a compliance manager or a compliance executive. Now, where am I going with this? I know if we keep talking and talking, we'll talk the whole day. But the point I'm trying to make here is that whilst on these jobs, other things that are mentioned, things that has to do with corporate social responsibility, sustainable development goals, and ESG, and stuff that has to do with quality management systems that we talked about. I got all of them within the trajectory of the work experiences I've had because of those moments of obedience. You will hardly be able to get anything from God. And I'm saying this not as a pastor, like I was telling Timilare, not as a pastor, because I'm not preaching. But like I told them, if there is good in something, then there is God there. And you do not need everybody. You only need a few good people. Do not think that because you do not have the bandwagon effect, everybody is not facing there, that means you are wrong. No. You might just be the only right person doing that thing. I don't believe in dogma, and I do not think any rational human being should believe in dogma. You don't have to be dogmatic and say it must go like this, like this, like this, and then like this. I stand to be corrected. But the point I'm trying to pass across to you, ladies and gentlemen, is that as young, aspiring adults, entrepreneurs, let me put it that way, see life as one where you need to add value by virtue of what you know or what you could bring to the table. And don't just go there believing that let me just go and work and let them pay me. I've questioned us here. All of the dy, dx, and the calculus that we've solved in both regular mathematics and further mathematics, how many of those are we using? Many guys are not working, but let me speak to maybe more senior colleagues here. How many of those are we using in our day-to-day work? Maybe very few. There are many of us that never learned how to use the computer. I am one of them. But the exigencies of work would make me, some of us went to computer school just to be able to use the computer. But many of us never did. They put the laptop or the computer before us and we start operating. They teach you, do this, and the next thing you explore yourself and you start doing. But many of us will say, why are you not learning a trade? Why are you not learning a skill? Why are you not learning a vocation? They say, no, I'm a computer student. I'm a computer student. You will never ever be able to even produce a chip. At the end of the day, you just want to go and somebody is paying you, and the person that is paying you is dictating the trajectory of your life. And once you get soaked in, you may never come out of it again, because you find yourself in there, and because you want, you are afraid, you don't want to go to become unemployed, you'll be forced to maintain what you are already having, and you are just doing it and doing it and doing it. Thank you. So, in rounding up, I will say to you or to us that always think through. There is nothing wrong in going to school. It will come handy. But there is everything right in aspiring to the entrepreneurial. That way, you are not just thinking for yourself alone. Even scripture says that we ask God, we do not get answers because we ask amiss. Why? We ask because we are asking for our own self, our own tummy, our own self, our own consumption alone. God didn't create us to be like that. Remember the parable of the talents. The same thing. He expects that you should go and multiply yourself, multiply success, multiply the talents that have been given to you. So if you are already among those that have set up something which you want to grow as entrepreneurs, I will say congratulations and well done, because that is the way to the future. And personally, for me, as many as are on that trajectory, as on that path, so much of those same people will be able to get the attention of those that will provide some support. And I stand here to say that I'm also willing to support, to mentor and guide people that are on that path, because that's the only place where you can find true national development. Gone are the days where you wait for government. The days of waiting for government to do things for you, to employ you, and do all of that is gone. They just don't care. But meanwhile, government will come and calculate economic development on using the indices of GDP, gross domestic product. I was asking someone yesterday, what is gross domestic product? Is it not the contribution, economic contribution of individual people, the population, by the national wealth? But all of us are going to seek employment from government or from some private individuals. Yet, the majority of us fail to do things that can produce money. So think about it again. If you are not an entrepreneur or you are not thinking along those lines, then think again. If you want to be in the academia, you can pursue it to the extent of even becoming a professor, a lecturer that will impart knowledge. You are also adding value. But if all you do now is to just work, school, get job, get salary, today the salary is enough, tomorrow the salary is not enough. Many of us that have humongous salary, as we want to call it, some people, if you are not earning up to ₦1 million a month, you are in trouble. Because even that your ₦1 million is being eroded by the day. If petrol price is 200 naira today, you have no control over it. Tomorrow it can be 1,000 naira. You cannot go and change it. The highest we will do is to go to the streets and protest. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, maybe I'll take more of your questions or drop more nuggets during the question and answer time. My time is spent. Thank you.
Can we please put our hands together for the again? That was a lot. Hallelujah. It was really a lot. And I think one of the things that, one of the things I took from his session is that it's okay to be doing well. Like, it's okay to be doing good. And it's okay to be getting that applause from people. Oh, you are doing well, you are doing well. But based on what God has deposited inside of you, you are not going to that standard. And I pray God will help us in Jesus' name. Hallelujah. So let's not forget, there's going to be a panel section. You can start jotting down your questions. That plenty that Daddy said. If you have questions, there are places you don't understand, you can just jot it down. Alright, so shortly we're going to be having the ministry of Mr. Bio, and once I'm done, the next voice you're going to be hearing is that of B3 Clothing. Hallelujah. Alright. Damilare is a visionary fashion entrepreneur, creative director, and brand strategist with a strong focus on redefining contemporary menswear from Africa to the global stage. He's the founder of B3 Clothing International, a premium menswear brand known for craftsmanship, structure, and culturally rooted sophistication. With a deep commitment to excellence, Damilare has built his brand on precision tailoring, refined aesthetics, and a strong understanding of the modern man's identity. Under his leadership, B3 Clothing has grown beyond local recognition, leveraging strategic marketing, digital visibility, and structured business systems to expand internationally. Driven by innovation and industrial growth within the fashion ecosystem, he is passionate about building scalable systems in production, client service, and brand positioning. His work extends beyond garment creation into fashion communication, business development, and empowering emerging designers with structured growth strategies. Damilare represents a new generation of African fashion leaders, bold in vision, disciplined in execution, and intentional about global relevance. His journey reflects resilience, strategic thinking, and an unwavering belief that African fashion can compete powerfully on the world stage. Ladies and gentlemen, if your hands are not too busy, please make welcome on stage.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. First, allow me this great church for the privilege given to me to be part of this summit. I do not take it for granted at all. I'm so grateful. It means My assignment here is simple. But whilst she was reading my Bible, even me, my head was swimming. I was like, wow. Results and ideas into impact is my assignment today, and that's what we're going to be, gisting about. So when I say gisting, it means I might at some point have to refer to some of you to, just follow me the line. Is that fine? Can we take it? It's my advice. Thank you. Sorry if that is inconveniencing you. All right. So vision, foresight, so that I can at least establish some line of thoughts before I go on to explain or talk about some of the things that's been on my mind to talk about today. Vision is the foresight and ability to vividly imagine future goals, serving as guiding, purposeful, and mental picture of a strategic direction. So, all of those big English, what it means is that when somebody has vision, they are able to dream, they are able to think, and they are able to guide themselves in line with what is on their mind. That's vision. Are we all still here? Alright, so vision does not limit to individuals, it also transcends into organizations. In our social studies, they used to say that the family is the SI unit of the society. Am I right?
Absolutely.
Okay, good. So it means that for our economy to do better, we as individuals have to have foresight. Those foresights go on to make organizations. And if the organization is better, come on, I believe our economy will be better, correct? Good. Please follow me as I follow Christ. Alright, so all men were created the same, but I can tell you that the best of us are the ones that have vision. Vision to imagine things and bring them to life. Are we all still here? It's not just enough for us to have goals. It's not enough for us to have ideas. What makes us different is ability to follow through on the vision that we had. And what does that mean? It means execution. The motivational speakers in our midst, they used to say that for everything that you need in this life, all you need to do is to aspire to acquire all that you desire, even if it will require you to perspire. All those yeah. It sounds really good to hear, and they look really nice on paper. But I'm able to tell you that the best of us are the ones that have learned to run with our vision. What did I say? Exactly. So, by the time you hear one or two motivational speakers and they tell you all those the quotes and all of those things, what exactly are you doing with that idea? Excitement without action is just fluke. What did I say? Excitement without is just fluke. So, first off, gather clarity. When you understand that this is what I want to do, get clarity. We're in the faith-based platform here, so it's okay if I refer to the scriptures whilst I'm dealing with this topic. They say that faith without work is what? Is dead. Correct? And in all you're getting, guess what? Get wisdom. I make go to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that wisdom don't just come to men. Knowledge and the application of the knowledge that you have is what brings wisdom. Knowledge and the application of that knowledge that you have is what brings wisdom. So, once you've gathered clarity, understanding that this is what I want to do. So, because of the fact that I am a fashion designer, I used to like it to call it tailor because it makes it really easy and modern to say, what do you do? I'm a fashion designer. Tailor. Alright, so being a tailor, I would allow me to just refer to my industry as my mode of example. Is that fine? Alright, good. So people don't just fail because of laziness. They fail because they are vague. They fail because they refuse to follow through on that idea that is on their mind. So, back to what I said about using myself as an example, because that's like the closest that comes to mind. Being a fashion designer, I can decide to be sewing for everybody, male and women, male and female, young and old. But as a brand, we decided to focus on menswear. That's clarity. Okay? So, how can we create clothes that will make men look the parts of who they are, that will give them a sense of elegance, that will make their presence known even without them opening their mouths to explain themselves? That is clarity. Understanding that this is the population of the people that we want to serve. Alright? And one of the things that we say to ourselves as a brand is, what problem are we solving? So, because I've been once a student, I'm still a student of life anyway, but school-wise, I was privileged to also attend Damilare at a point in my life for my second degree. And allow me to say some of the things that I saw on campus can be used as an example today. The people who are usually on the walkways selling snacks and selling, do you people believe that they are solving the problem for us? So it means that after your lecture, you're so famished and you need to quickly buy water and drink. You don't need to come to the gates or come outside town to get something. You can easily just go to the walkway and, correct? Alright. The people who make photocopies of the is it handouts? Do they still call it handouts? I'm feeling old. We used to call it, Daddy,
Absolutely.
we used to call it handouts. Photocopy those materials, who even hard copy. They are solving a problem for us because we can to buy a printer or we have to buy a photocopier. Alright? So for them, getting into business, they have clarity that they want to be a printing business and their target market are students. You would all agree with me that apart from those guys in school, there are other people who, by virtue of the people they targeted, they decide to be in somewhere around post office, tanker, but they are not serving students majorly, correct? But the ones that want to serve students majorly, they are where? Inside the school. So I said all of that to say to you that once you decide on what you do, on what you want to do, the next question that should be on your mind is, who do I want to serve? After deciding who you want to serve, ask yourself another question. What problem am I solving for them? Those guys on campus that are making photocopy for us, would it make sense if they are opening their shops by 4 p.m.? Anybody here can answer me? Would it make sense if they are opening their shops by 4 p.m. and they are closing by 9 p.m.? Sorry? No, it won't make sense. Why? Because of time frame around students' timetable. Simple. So for everything that you're going to be doing, you have to ensure that you die to self. So it means that some of them have to wake up in the morning and make it to campus as early as 7, correct? Even if it's not convenient. Ladies and gentlemen, I make bold to tell you that some of the things that you're going to be doing as entrepreneurs to serve people would not be for yourself. It has to be for the people you are serving. Am I audible enough? Yes. Okay, good. I just want to be sure. So, once you're clear about all of these things, make move towards execution. Because results belong to those who execute, not those who have visions alone. Alright? going back to our aspirant to perspire people, by the time, let's say for instance, in an event like this, they bring one person to come and aspire to acquire us. By the time all of us jot things down, we write, and we get very excited by all of the rhymes that the person is putting in place. I wish I could just, one or two aspire to acquire to all of those things. We get excited, it sounds really funny in our ears, right? But the best of us are the ones who go to work with it. Alright? So, how do we go to work? Build systems. For every system, for every execution, it has to be backed by systems. Because you don't rise to the level of your dreams, you fall to the level of your system. Daddy Kingsley was talking about banking and all that. And I don't know, I don't need to start feeling like one old person, but I remember that those days when you want to make a deposit, you have to go to the bank to queue to few tellers and deposit the money and wait 2 days. You guys might not relate because I mean you can just pay somebody with your OP. Not it. I mean you can just pay somebody with your OP, correct? Alright, so that was the banking system back then. If they had remained on that level, would they be relevant right now? So, don't forget what I said. You fall to the level of your... I mean, the banking industry has goals. They wanted to serve people. They wanted us to be able to move money through them. Correct? So, put in system of execution. And how do you do it? Daily routine. To the tiniest detail. So it means that, I mean, the people who I'm using as an example, so please allow me to say that all of the things that I'm going to be saying is built around almost the same thing, and I've decided to use relatable ideas so that I don't go on confusing you guys, and in the long run we'll just laugh and that will be it. Okay? So please just pay attention and ensure that you follow through. Exactly. Alright, so we mentioned the people who make photocopies, right? And one of the things that they do daily is first they check their photocopy papers, they check if their printer has cartridge, if the cartridge in their printer has this thing and it's still okay for it to print. Because it will not make sense for, allow me to say, mass communication 100 level students to come around and after they've done maybe 20 photocopies, they start saying, I'm sorry, paper titon or something. Do you understand? So there's a daily routine that they must follow to ensure that they are able to serve people effectively. Don't just serve. Don't just solve problems for people. Solve it effectively. I mean, I think we're about 50 here, and let's say this is 100 level, this is 200 level. How will it feel when 25 people in 100 level wants to make a photocopy, and by the time they are done, the people in 200 level are unable to make their own photocopy? How would you pursue a business like that? You see them as not being serious or not being efficient enough. So daily routines, however it is that you want to break it down, whatever it is that you will have to put in place daily to ensure that things are in place to serve those who you want to serve. Please check through. So because of the fact that I am in the production business, I used mine as an example. Production process, monitoring production process. So it means that for every person that brings in fabric for us to sew, there is a procedure that it goes through, from cutting to sewing to finishing to quality control, and of course to delivery back to the customer. So this is our own. So you can relate that to whatever field that you find yourself. Marketing systems, because we are in a world where people just like to do, forgive my vernacular, they just like to do shala and bites. They are not really, intentional about what they do. For every business that exists, there must be a marketing system. Because you are not just in business to serve, you are in business to grow. Are we all still here?
Yes.
Alright, so for people who are, just starting out, make marketing part of your growth plan. Alright? Ensure that you find a way for people to know you, to know what to do. For the ones that are photocopying for us on campus, the easiest way for them to make themselves known is that they print stickers. Am I correct? They print stickers. And when you get to maybe the entrance of your class, you can likely see something, allow me to use my name, Dummy Printing Press, photocopy in 2 hours, get your passport done they have all of those things, correct? Some of them even go as far as selling snacks, right? So, but they ensure that you know them with one thing and you come to them with 4 other things. Are we also here? Okay, good. So, marketing, because we're in the age of digital marketing now, I want to implore us to ensure that we take advantage of the digital platforms that are available to us to make known that thing that we do. So, move from consumption to creation. Don't just be that person who is on TikTok and especially these days that there are a lot of very, very nice and beautiful content online. Even preaching has gone viral. They will just start playing. The importance of knowing how to convey your message. Alright? So take advantage of the digital platform, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, name them, to ensure that you make yourself known. Let people know that thing that you do, even if you have to dance. Yeah, even if you have to dance, but be mindful of the kind of dance that you dance to as a child of God. So, post your works online, sell yourself, and even before you feel the need to get ready, allow me to say that perfection is an illusion. Don't wait till you have everything before you get started. What did I say? Perfection is an illusion. Nothing is perfect anyway. If we waited for them to bring OP, we'll probably not have been banking with the other ones, right? So it's important for us to know how to get started, even when we don't have everything in place. Okay? Start with an idea, grow, and improve on that idea. So that improvement is how you stay relevant. I gave an example of the banking industry. You can imagine how it will look like if there's a particular bank that all of us have to go there now and queue. While OP and Money Point and the other ones, they are already. Do you think that bank will be relevant? So now where the competition comes is how innovative each person is. Innovation is all about improving on what you already have. You're not bringing anything new. You're just improving on the systems that you have. Oxford Dictionary define innovation as finding better ways to do things. Are we all still here? I hope I'm not boring you guys. Okay, good. Alright, so measure what matters. Because we live in a life or in a world of social media or social medium. Because we live in a world of social media where everything looks very glamorous, everything looks very beautiful on the outside. without us knowing the work that goes on the inside, we are easily carried away. Alright, so measure what matters. There is an adage that says that the journey of the 1,000 miles starts with a step. After you take step 1, please don't try to take step 100. Let go do you. Alright? So ensure that you take things step by step. Measure what matters. And in measuring what matters, tell yourself the truth. Because oftentimes people get carried away, like I said, by the glam on social media. So how do you measure what matters? Track your numbers. So if you start an idea and you start a business, month 1 you're doing 10,000 naira, and month 2 you're doing 11,500. Month 3 you do, let's say, 13,000. So by the time you finish up to 1 quarter, you can easily just check your numbers and see the progression by which you moved. And that will leave you with only one question: how can we do better? Alright? Because, I mean, everything looks very easy on the outside, but know what works for you. Because what works for me might not work for him, might not work for her. Alright, even if we're in the same business. In the fashion industry where I operate, I've been privileged to talk to people who, at least I can consider like they are higher than I am. They've started way longer, and people who have started, who started after I started. And some of the things that I used to take away from that conversation is that to each his own, really, to each his own. So you must learn to know how to coordinate with yourself in a way that, oh, you were less sorry, but only admire speed there. Alright? So what that means is that you don't use another person's horse to run your race, even if the person's speed is admirable. Okay? So, next up, after tracking your numbers, set targets yourself. So you can do weekly, you can do monthly, and you can do quarterly, depending on how you are able to track it. But don't try to stretch yourself too much, because to run business in Nigeria is a lot. So you have to understand how you can manage yourself and manage it very well. Knowing fully well that someday you're going to have people who will probably be doing that for you. But at the same time, I think what to tell you that if you don't know how to do it and you ask somebody to do it, they might as well just do what they like and they'll just come and present it. So it's important that at the early days of your business, you are the one running things. Not because you're lazy, but because you need a proper understanding of how each department works. In our business today, I used to make jest with my staff that there's no department that I've not worked in this company. Like, I've worked production, I've worked as a front office staff, I mean the person attending to clients. I've worked as the accountant. I've worked as the delivery guy. Alright? I've worked as every department. I've worked as a driver. So every department that we have right now at Medutainers, I've worked there practically as the early days. Alright, so it's important for you to pay close attention to all of these things, because in hindsight, it makes you a better leader. Alright? Moving on. So, the discipline of finishing. I can count, if I put fingers to, let's just say, between 5 and 10 people who I know that have started something, or who I know that have conceived a very great idea. They started, they're doing very well, but at the point of challenges, they back out. I'm able to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that the joy of doing anything is not in starting, it's not in maintaining it, it is in finishing it. Okay? So it's very important that whilst you are tracking your numbers, you are measuring your progress, stay on the course. Ask yourself what you want to achieve per time and see it through. What did I say?
See it.
Alright, so if it's not measurable, it is not result. If it is not measurable, it is not result. If you go back to the things that I said the other time about numbers, that in month 1 you can make 10,000 and in month 2 you can make 11,500. That's like 1,500 naira increase, correct? And I think if my mathematics serves me right, that's about 15% increment. 15%, that's about 15% increment. So if you have another, in month 2, you have another 15% increment, that's 1,500 to make, that's 12,500, correct? And in month 3, you have, so it means per month, we can say that we have 15% growth. If you're measuring it per customer acquisition, if I'm guys it not big enough, it means that the customer that comes in, I mean, per customer that, if you're measuring it per customer that comes, so it means that you have 5 customers at month 1, and you have 10 customers month 2, which means that maybe easily said that out of 3 people that you had before, they brought 3 more people, and 2 came by Instagram or TikTok. So it means that you can say that you have 100% growth in customer acquisition. Do you understand? So all of these things, like Daddy said the other time, in our maths and mathematics, mathematics and further maths, we not touch all these things. We just have to find a way to understand it. Okay? All of the algebra that we did now in our math class, I'm not using my own try. Maybe I'll say maybe I'll say use it. I'm still the y and the x. I've not had time to find it. Maybe I'll still find it. Alright? So it's very important that you do all of these things now and you ensure that you are very, very keen on the details so that by the time you go online and you see somebody whose business is doing good, you will not be carried away, especially because maybe you guys started at the same time. Look at your neighbor, tell your neighbor that to each his own. To each his own. I hope you are not saying that. To each his own. And what that means, I mean, is everybody here Yoruba? What that means is only it's just as simple as that. Like, what works for Mr. A might not work for Mr. B, even if we're in the same industry. Okay? I will stay here. Slap your neighbor high five if you're still here. It's like I'm so sure that the high five is not standing very well. Okay. Somebody's laughing. Alright, so as young people, I think one of the things that is very, very important that you know that you want to make that money, failures will come. Let me prepare your mind. You know, they used to say that life is not bed or roses. Bushes were horses. I like the response. Alright, so see as a data, not as defeat. Let it be what will fuel next action. I mean, if I want to collect something from Daddy Kingsley and I pass here and I fall, like this, the next time I will not go past there, I will just go and pass another place. So the fact that I failed here, does that mean I should not return to the podium to finish my session? So, see failure as data, not defeat. Okay? Because life is not emotional. Take it as feedback. Alright? So, try, which means execution. I'm rounding up now. Try, which means execution, right? Measure what matters. correct, and adjust to whatever it is that does not work. I make the analogy of collecting something from the Kingsley and falling down. So it means that if I'm coming back, I'm not passing this way, I'm just going to pass another place. I mean, should be the goal for me is just to come to the podium, correct? So once I know how to do that, then I can.
Search your name on Google. Is it working now? Oh yeah, search your name, quickly. Search your name. Don't be shy, oh. Don't be surprised that LinkedIn and Google actually has something for you. Are you done? Anybody has searched their name? Please be audacious. So this is 2026. I might choose to help you to develop your brand or your page or whatever. Anybody? Oh yeah, please come. Don't be shy. Overtaker generation wants to be shy. No, don't be shy. Yes. Come and share the stage with me. Have you searched for yourself? Oh yeah, what is it saying?
Abigail is a feminine given name of Hebrew origin.
No!
Meaning
Your full name. Any other person? Should we give Abigail a time? This is not part of my time. Oh. Did you get it? Your full name. Abigail, you're not on the internet. Oh yeah, come. The lady on the black scarf. Thank you very much, Abigail. Please give her a round of applause. It's not easy to come outside and your name should not be on the internet. What are they saying about you?
Oloruntoba Grace appears to be associated with an Instagram profile that mentions your satisfaction and pride and includes confectionaries, suggesting a business focus. Another similar name, Favor Ogunbono.
Which one is your own? The one you just read. Both of them. How many names do you have?
It's the same thing.
Okay, they're not separate. Oh, okay, read it.
Is identified as a worship leader,
Okay.
a musician associated with. Okay, that's not mine.
Also, don't take another person's name. Oh. So you see, when you search for your name on Google, you should be able to bring out something. Now, what is it bringing out is very, very, very important. Is it bringing out what you gave to it, or what it is giving to you for other people to see? Now, there's something important about story. It's either you write your story, or another person writes your story for themselves. And that's why personal branding is very important. Because you just find out on the internet that they say, my friend was helping me to do something the other day, and they said, over a decade she has been, I said, that is not me. I've not done something like that for over a decade. That's a lie. That's a lie. So I have to start ensuring that I change the narrative of that. Because imagine if someone reaches out to me and says, oh, we understand that I have an experience of over a decade, and I'm like, how? So when they're asking for evidence and the internet is showing them over a decade, what do I then tell them? It looks as if I cooked a lie there. And that's very important. Remember I said that your name is your brand. So please, you have every right and every need to ensure that whatever is on Google represents who you are. If it's telling you that, oh, this person is a worship leader, that's fine. If it's saying that this person is this, then that's awesome. So please, today, I'm not saying that we'll figure it out everything today, but today we have to start ensuring that whatever appears on Google is who we are. Okay, now let's go to Tunde and Emeka. Any Tunde in the house? No. Any Emeka? No. Thank you, Jesus. All right, so we have Tunde and Emeka, same university, same department, same 2-1. It could be 2-1 upper, 2-1 lower, everything are waiting. It's not 2-1. 6 months after graduation, Emeka has 3 jobs, 2 freelance clients, and a speaking invite. Tunde has 200 CVs and heard back from 4 rejected by all 4. Different brands. That's what today is about. A certificate actually says you attended a school, but a brand matters. Now, what do you think happened between Emeka and Tunde? Possibly when Emeka was in school, Emeka had started something. There's already a foundation set. Now, the problem is that everybody waits to want to graduate. I remember when I was in secondary school, I said, oh, when I'm in university, I will try my best to do this better. I'm sure most of us have probably thought it. Or say, oh, when I resume second semester, this is what I'll be doing now, I won't do it. And then you will not do it again. and then you shift it again to the next, let me call it generation. Instead of you to do it again the next semester, you still keep moving it. And you say, oh, I'm supposed to start this thing, and you're like, there's no time to do that. I have to wait till after school. Now, the funny thing about life is that it's not going to wait for you. It's just going to keep moving and moving and moving. So if you keep deciding that you want to stall and start something some days to come, you probably may never start it. And if you end up starting it, although it's not too late, but it might be too late. Because imagine how many years of experience you would have gathered if you had started it earlier. So while you're in school, there is really something about you that you can actually do. There is something about yourself. There is something about your skill, or just don't put it a skill, that you have that you don't know. Someone might say, oh my God, this person is so funny. This person is so funny. Permit me to say, they might call you the class clown. But do you know that people actually pay to listen to people to make them laugh? That's a job. That's a job, for real. You don't just know. There is so many jobs right now. Before there was nothing like personal branding, strategies, career coach, there was public speaker and all. If you find yourself doing something, niche it down to somewhere and create a portfolio for yourself immediately. Now we're going to get there. Next slide. So here we can see that I have created 4 roadmaps. The roadmap of where you are right now. Allow me to use. Madam, what do you call your name again? Abigail. No vex you, but you be ghost. We did not see you online. Why? That's ghost. So if you search yourself up and we did not see you online, unless you are a ghost, you're not so visible. I can't remember the person that wrote the book. I think it's Alan. I can't remember. Is it Kellogg or something? I said that if you don't show your workings online, nobody knows you. And you might be like, oh, I'm such a quiet person. I don't really like to put myself out there. Okay. You see me driving BMW. Don't say, it just happened for her all of a sudden. It did not just happen for anybody all of a sudden. Once again, let me say, it did not just happen for anybody all of a sudden. There must have been behind the scene that you were not seeing. So it's very important you push yourself online. So we have the ghost stage. You exist in real life, but you are barely online. And if you Google yourself, nothing comes up. And then we have the confused stage. Now the confused stage is you are online, but you are scattered. You are everywhere. If you use AI Google knows you as a baker, a chef, a tailor. If you use normal Google analytics, it shows that she's a singer, she's this, she's that. And then it starts getting confused and everybody's like, who exactly is this person? Now, your WhatsApp status is Bible verse, yes. Your WhatsApp status, the only thing you post there is just Bible verse. I mean, I love the Lord so much. And your WhatsApp status, the only thing you just post is Bible verse. And then after you post Bible verse, bam, that's all. Because you're a pastor, God has called you. Hallelujah. Oh. God has called almost all of us. All of you that are refusing to answer the call, may you pick it in Jesus' name. Amen. So, it's not only Bible verse that people want to know about you. I mean, yes, you could be a pastor. That's a personal brand by itself. But what's more, what kind of preaching do you preach? People want to know what you're saying. People want to understand that, oh, if this church actually resonates with what I want to hear. And yes, thank God, Redeem. Redeem is a beautiful church. I trust the doctrine. I'm a foundation of a redeemed child. So at least I know that Redeem preach very well. People want to know who you, beyond being a pastor, people want to know you. Now, if I was not active online, or maybe she knows someone that knows me, then she knows that I like Amala. Are people going to give me Amala? I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm not sure. I like Amala, and then I like BMW, the car. She's not going to know. You see, I like luxury, Adi. That's why I have to be rich. Very rich at it. Okay, so we have the builder. The people that are already building their portfolio. Yes, it might be a little bit this and that. It's not yet so clear. But at least you have a kind of vision of where you are going to. You already have a part of saying, okay, you know what, I want to be a banker. And because I want to be a banker, I have to study this. I have to meet these people. And I want to go through this part. But that means I should not call it fashion designer. I want to be a tailor. You will go to, so is it tailoring school now? You will go to fashion school. You pick up a skill in learning how to be a fashion designer. And you move from there. And then you stop saying it all the time and say, oh, I just want to be. Saying it every time does not birth it. And idea to execution is very important. See, we all have ideas. Especially if you have the Holy Ghost. Ideas go to flow. He's just going to be giving you. But if he keep giving you and then but wait, at some point it will look like, how am I even hearing from God? Nothing is even coming forth from my life. It's because he's giving you so many talents. But what are you using the talents to do? Nothing. So it's very, very important that immediately you get your idea, execute it. See, we overthink a lot in this generation. Even myself sometimes, I actually overthink some things. Will it be good? Who wants to hear from me? I'm using a Techno Pop 7. I don't know if there's anything fun like that, I'm sorry. I'm using a Techno Pop 7. The phone camera is not clear. Is it that same phone camera that is not clear that someone used to post online that is it Moro? Moro Tike? Moro? You like it that we don't like it? She found a lady and she gave her a phone. Do you remember that lady that she found? I think she even started allowing her to have access in Creator Nexus and she became a content creator working with her. Her phone was not good. Now, social media now, aside from the fact that yes, people want to see your workings, we understand empathy. Our country is good, don't let me say another thing. But we actually understand empathy online. Why is it that when you see that someone is actually going through a lot, before you know it now, bam, everybody has raised money for that person. So far the story is genuine. So your story could just be like that. But if you don't even push yourself online, how do people want to know that you are in need? If you are waiting on that uncle that is going to give you, please don't be selfish. Or don't think that the uncle is being selfish. The uncle also has other needs too. It might just be funny that you say, do you know that my uncle has this amount of money? Or my brother's cousin's friend has this amount of money. And you're not just buying me an iPhone. See, forget clothes though. What is buying somebody? It's inside their body. So please, put yourself online. Very important. And now we have the authority. Opportunities come to you. Recruiters message you first. That's people like on LinkedIn, Instagram. For example, now when I want to host events now, people reach out to me and say, oh, hi, Hannah, we want you to host this event, we want to do this event, I want you to host it. Now, before, I was the one reaching out to say, hi, please, please, I heard that there's an event happening here. Who is the one that is organizing it? And when they tell me the person, because I know how to speak very well, I say, hi, so I can see this event, such a brilliant one. However, this is my latest input, blah, 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 blah. And do you know that I can actually help you host it? Bam. Oh, you host? But we don't have money to pay you. Okay, that's all right, no problem. They won't pay me for it. I'm going to look for videographer. When I get my videographer, I'll post my thing online. Who needs to know that they did not pay me for the event? But the next person that's going to be bringing will be like, we don't know what she's going to charge you. Whereas they not pay branding. Somebody say branding. Branding. I don't say you should lie, just brand yourself. Alright, so the plan is not to take you from stage 1 to stage 4 today. No. But it's just to help you to move even better. Alright, so let's go to the next slide. Alright, so what personal branding is? Your niche. What personal branding is? Your niche. Personal branding is not fake life. I mentioned it not too long. Personal branding is not trying to be an influencer. By the way, I hope you know that the life of an influencer is not easy. Social media is glam and beautiful. Behind the scene is not that alright. So I don't want you to say, oh, this person, oh my God, I love this person. It's good to love the person, it's good to admire the person. But don't bank so much on it and say, if I am not like this person, I will not feel. God in heaven did not plan to create you to be like another person. God planned for you to stand out, be distinct, and dominate in your own field. Even if it is that same field, all of us are dominators. That's the plan. The plan is not to imitate someone. The plan is to see that, oh my God, this person has this. I like what this person has, and I'm going to use this for myself. Do we understand? Are we together? All right. So personal branding is not something you start after graduation. Like I said, if people already know you, to do something now. All right, 1 minute. Who wants to pitch what they do for me? 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. Anybody, pitch what you do. All right, come on up the mic. Let's give her a round of applause.
afternoon, everyone. I'm into POS business. So you want to withdraw, you want to make transfers, you want to make deposits. And also, I make liquid soap, Izaz, anything toiletries, if you want to get them. And I also sell snacks. So that's what I do.
She does POS. Please explain in case any other person comes. She's into POS. If you want to withdraw money, you can reach out to her. She does liquid soap, right? So if you want to wash, is it for washing clothes and plates? Did you bring it? No. Go. Who do you want to eat? Just I'm fasting 70 days dry. But the snacks are here. Please buy snacks. What kind of snacks do you sell? Chin. I don't like chin. What else? We'll talk after. I'll see what we can buy from you. Alright, so the plan is who you are, what you can do, and who you help. Now, if she had said, hi, my name is, I didn't get your name, girl. Jessica, my name is Jessica. I provide financial service to people who want quick cash without going to the bank. For people that are around me, or you can say for students, whoever it is that you want to talk to, provide your service to, like Padadami said when he was speaking to us. So it's always very, very important for people to understand what you do, who you are, and what you want to offer. So I have it here. I said who you are, what you can do, and who you help. It's very, very important. Who you are, what you can do, and who you help. So that when you are not around that day, someone can quickly say, I know Jessica, and liquid soap is very, very good. It's very, very foamy, which I think is a problem that we have right now. Another problem I've noticed that we have right now in Ilorin. Do you want to know? Do you want to hear? Yes. I cannot hear you. Do you want to hear? Yes, ma'am. Charging. Charging. For you. There's not enough. When I was coming, I saw the amount of, I said, hallelujah. If it was you, if you can just save up money to buy a generator, and you can create a system whereby people can come and be plugging their phone, and you will label it. Do you know how much money you will make? Do you know when these NEPA people are going to solve this solution? It's going to take a long time. I'm so sorry, but that's just the truth. And it might actually be sooner than we expect. But there's always going to be a fallback. Because there's always going to be a need to charge your phone. Do you understand? Everybody wants to be online. So even if, I'm not asking you to call it at a very, very high price. But if you're doing that says, oh, if you charge for 100 naira to 100%, you come and carry your phone by this time. It's easy. Don't be surprised that people say, do you know where I'm coming from? I'm coming from Sarab. We don't have lights too. I'm coming all the way to Okeodo. Why do people go to people's place to look for things? It's not because they have it. So it's what you have that you will give out. So people can gather money together. I don't know you want to call your corporations or maybe RCCG corporations together. I don't know. And you guys can just get a generator and then provide solution. There is always a problem. Look around you. He mentioned it too that in school, there is a walkway, the people that sell snacks. They are meeting your immediate needs before you leave that place. So even if you're stepping out of, even if you don't feel like, it's as also of the air grow. Anybody did MCB or is doing MCB here? MCB. University of Ilorin. University of Ilorin. Do you know that block 4? Oh mama like this, that the air grow, also. Oh my God. Even if you're not interested, even if you are not interested, so far your nose can pick it, bam, you want to go there. Now, the funny thing might be, if I want to describe her now, what I describe her? Mama Tomanta Air Grow. That's our own personal brand for me. That's all I need to say. Block 4. Just ask for the person that's selling egg roll here. That is all. Alright, let me move. I'm trying to move as fast as you do. Next. Alright, so find your focus without killing your range. Now, if you're a multi-talented person, like me, I'm an event host, I'm a career coach, I'm a personal branding strategist, I'm a public speaker, I'm into creative direction, and I enjoy fashion. I'm a fashion and stylist girl. That is a lot. A whole lot. And you're like, it's everything that you want to do. How can I even be doing everything? My focus is on 2. Event host and public speaking mostly. Our personal branding. That's where my focus is. Mostly. And that's what brings in my my income. Except if I want to model it for a brand, or a brand that has a shoot they want to do and they tell me, I'm come and do this content direction for them. But if you want to find me, if you find me online, how did you find me? It's not because of personal branding and public speaking. That's it. So it is. You can do a whole lot of things. Don't let anybody say, just pick one thing. Just pick one thing. Now let me bring it. If you know that you are so good at so many things, you can do everything, but not at once. Let me just be honest with you, so that you don't get burnt out. You have to be able to manage the whole thing, but pick a strength. Pick one or two strengths, so that you're not like, today they are saying, we called Anu to come and shoot this content for us, but she's hosting in another place. And then also know how to use your calendar too. So you have to pick one thing. You don't have to pick one thing to find your thread. You don't have to. Being scattered is the problem. What outcome do I keep? What outcome do I keep helping people achieve, no matter what skill I use? If I use all my skill in one, what problem would it be? Did you get that? Did you get that? Let me say it again. If I'm using one skill, what problem would I solve? Or what problem would I achieve? Or what solution would I achieve? If I'm using all my skills, what is that one problem that I will be able to solve? Did we get that? So for example, now, as I am now, let's leave the whole creative part. I'm a personal branding strategist and event host and career. If you bring your business to me, I can guide you and say, this thing you're doing right now, for the kind of person that you are, you really might not work. Some people, they can say, oh, I run this thing, but I don't really know how to talk to my staff. Maybe you should employ someone that can help you talk to your staff if you cannot. And it's not a bad thing. You might see it as, oh, I'm very weak, but sometimes you have to understand how to learn authority for yourself. So you might say that, oh, I'm very weak when it comes to this. Why do we have people that audit our accounts for us? It's because we cannot do everything. Alright, so let me move on. Your digital footprint. I'm trying to manage my time. Okay, so I said you already have one question. Is what it says about you. Now, we have different platforms, but the 4 major platforms are what? Who wants to help me? That's your one. So we have 4 different platforms. The 4 major platforms are what? Instagram. Who's that Facebook? Wait. Who's that Facebook? Facebook is actually good, shall. Yeah, Instagram, TikTok, X, LinkedIn. If you want to overpackage yourself, you go to where? God bless you, sir. If you want to overpackage yourself among top professionals, you go to where? LinkedIn. Don't be surprised though. These people might not be telling a lie. They might just know how to use ChatGPT to their advantage. For example, she said, I'm a POS lady. If she's going to carry it to LinkedIn, she said, I provide financial services. Do we understand? It is really not a lie. It just depends on the way you know how to add everything together to make sense. Now, if you want people to decide if they like you before you even say a word, or before you even say anything, it could just be true reels. You go to where? Instagram. Now, I love Instagram because I'm able to connect with 1,000 people almost at the same time. And that's just by scrolling. I'm like, oh my God, this person is in my niche. Ma'am, I'm following this person. And before I know it, the person's feed will start to come to me. So it could just be one reel that made me see that person and I decide I want to start following. Yes or yes? And sometimes it could just be one reel that will give you, that will be like an hook for you. And the next thing you just know is that you're going to start checking all their posts. They're like, this person is good though. This person is nice. And before you know it, you just say, let me just follow the person. That's enough. So before you even come and start saying something, do you know that we have faceless accounts? We have faceless accounts. People that have accounts that you will not see their face. But I'm telling you, the amount of reach they have is because they already know their content. I have one girl on the internet, I can't remember her name, on Instagram. She does beauty, skincare, blah, blah, blah. But she will not show you her face, so she'll just show you her environment, the way it's aesthetically pleasing. She'll show you her bathing soap, what she's eating, what she's drinking, and all of us are following her. All of us. Me too, I'm following her. She's not saying anything to me, but I'm following her. That's because she's meeting that need I want at that moment. Do you understand? So I don't want you to create an excuse and say, I don't have what to say. That's not true. You have so many things you actually have to say, so many things. But it's just that you have to sit down and internalize it, reflect. Then the price of discovery is attention. You have to sit down, think properly. Just sit down one day, just say, I'm tired of the way I'm living. Bam. Lock yourself inside, sit down and say, God, how do we go about this thing? He's always willing to help. There's almost going to be something in the Bible that speaks to you. There probably would be a lady in the Bible that you like so much. And like, Queen Esther. Queen Esther, I don't want to die for Nigeria now. Who says you have to die for Nigeria to be Queen Esther? Why don't you check the other things she can do? Sit down. See, there's nothing wrong with using ChatGPT to analyze Bible character. Say, this is who I am. This is who this person I love. How can I become like this person or close to this person? So if you want to, the best professional social media that all of us like to use is WhatsApp. Somebody say WhatsApp. Everybody knows your WhatsApp. CEO of Chin Chin Seller, this and that and that and that. But people, we tend to forget that. We tend to forget that people outside of your contact do not know you. And the only day they will get to know you is the day that you are doing birthday. Or the day that you wear fine clothes. And your friend is like, if your clothes is fine, okay. That is all. So imagine you have 256 contacts and you don't post on WhatsApp. So you are telling me that only 256 people know what you are doing. And you want to make money. How now? When there is someone that a million people knows what she's doing. And then the funny thing is that we are so moved by Instagram likes. We're so moved by did they reshare my status? Did they reshare my this thing? It's not all about life. I mean, it's very, very sweet and very, very nice. But if you start to plan your value, if you start to put your mind on those kind of things, you will not go far. Especially if you are trying to post on LinkedIn. Oh my God. LinkedIn people, they are very selfish. They are like this, I can go. They will not give you that like. They will not. But don't be surprised that they will read your work. Do you know? They will read it. They will be like, this person actually wrote me. But now, it is not for the people that view it now. It is for someone that wants to employ you in future that will go and check your track record and say, oh my God, this person is well spoken. How is this person still like this? Let's bring this person here. Let's do this to this person. So it's very, very important that beyond WhatsApp, you will post. Oh yeah, everybody say beyond WhatsApp, I will post on the other social media platform. Oh yeah, put your hand on your chest. Pledge allegiance. Thank God we're in church. You go and lie. Oh yeah, beyond WhatsApp, I will post on other social media platforms. Say it again. Beyond WhatsApp, I will post on other social media platforms. When the Bible was telling you, let your light so shine, he was not joking. He said, before who? Before who? Hey now, so why are you afraid of the men? Why are you afraid of the men? Even if in Hebrews, the Bible said that if God be for you, if God is your helper, what can any man do to you? Nothing! Men? Sometimes I used to tell myself, men, me, I will not be afraid of you. Never. I can respect you. I can give you all the honor you are called. But I can never be afraid of you. Why are you afraid of a man? You can give them their authority. You can, you can give them their honor. You can respect them. But the least a man will tell you is no. And then immediately he tells you no, just go back to that place and say, my Father, who created heaven and the earth, who has the heart of kings in his hand, he can turn it anyhow. Father Lord, turn this thing. And then if he does not turn it, it's you that did not believe enough. In all honesty. Or God is not willing to bless you in such kind of way. And it's not bad. Alright, so let me move on. And if you have an X, Twitter, let's call it Twitter. If you have a Twitter account and the only thing you're just retweeting is people's posts and nothing about yourself, and then you are posting things that will affect you in future, please go and delete it now. The way the digital world is going now, people are finding tweets from 2012. 2012. I'm like, did you sit down? Then go. So check what you're posting on Twitter. Check who you are following on Twitter. Check who you are following on the internet. Some people are, some recruiters are like, is following this person that does this? No, that is the value they share is the same. See, there are a lot of people that I admire their content and all, but I do not follow them. But because I already knows that I engage in their content, it brings it. But I do not follow them. Because sometimes, some people are very funny, they'll go and sit down and check who you are following. For example now, I don't want to say it on the altar. Imagine I'm following someone like Nicki Minaj. Do you get? If I'm following Nicki Minaj, I'm following Cardi B. They are not bad people, please. God created everybody wonderfully made. But our value is not the same. Now, someone wants to give me a job, and the person is such a religious person. And the person's like, look at what she's following. Look at what she's engaging. What's that comment that she dropped there? Check your whatever. Wow. And before you know it, bam, I don't have access to that person anymore. It's so funny. I understand that you're supposed to live life for your own self. But to an extent, you're not offering the services to yourself alone. You're offering it to other people. It's people that is buying from you, right? Will you sell, you will create, you will produce, you still sell to yourself. Is that possible? Does it even make sense? How do you want to make money? Okay, so wrapping up, I guess. So you have your physical footprints. I said your online, that's me already. Your online brand opens door, your offline brand decide if you get to stay. How you behave when nobody's watching you is your real brand, and it always show up eventually. I think there was a okay. Now let's give a story. There's a story of a young man here. He said he has a sharp LinkedIn portfolio, Instagram portfolio, everything 100 over 100. They invited him to a networking event where he has to speak, and then he just got through the door. You say hello to anybody. Did you notice the way all of us actually said hello to one another? Very important. Character speak. Your character will always speak forever and ever. Imagine I just came in and I'm like, oh, hi. And I just sat down. And then the next time I'm coming to speak with you and I'm doing, even you'll be like, who is this person? Can we not bring that to our church again? That's where it's going to be. So I might have so much knowledge. My knowledge might be as vast as that of Elon Musk. But my character is as shallow. You would not bring me again no matter what. If you're going to bring me, it's just be like, because we don't have any other option. Not because I'm good at what I do. So it's very, very important that you have your physical footprint is very, very good. Same as your online. So 5 elements, physical footprints. 1, the way you dress. How you speak. Good morning, sir. Good afternoon. Hello, how are you doing? Young man, sir. What's his name? Please come. Come and shake me. Hello, how are you doing? Good afternoon. Let's just do 1 or 2 talking. Yeah. Good afternoon, sir. How are you doing, sir? It's good to see you, sir. So who are you? Okay, thank you. That was awesome. I don't expect you to be bowing down to me, sir. If you go for events like that, don't be bowing down for everybody. But what I wanted to get was if his handshake was actually firm enough. Do you know that if you go and speak somewhere and you just shake them, they will think that you are, especially if you want to negotiate with the person. They'll say, oh, this one's very, very weak. They'll just put it beside you and say, we're giving you this amount, you have to accept it. And then the next thing you're like, but if you sit down, when you get to a place, if you carry yourself properly, before they can even come to talk to you, they're like, oh, this one I'm looking at that, she will not collect 1 million, let's just put it at 1.2. And someone is like, try now. Okay, let's do it 1.15. And they are coming, and maybe in your mind they're like 700. Oh no, just 700. What? That's double your amount. Double your amount that you did not expect. But if you're like, whatever they have, they should just give it to me. It should be just to eat today. It's just to eat today and tomorrow we'll figure it out. No, it's not. That's not how we create wealth in the kingdom. Oh. No. I don't know if you now overcharge somebody. Oh. If something is 10 naira, you're not selling it for 150. God in the kingdom will not bless to that place. Utilize your assets. Be able to speak to every one of them immediately. But as simple as, hello sir, my name is this, not all of them like it. So quickly look for whatever problem they have that you want to provide too. Now let me give you a trick I used to use. It's a trick. It might work for you, it might not work for you. Now, I go online and if I want to meet a person, maybe I read a summit and all. And then when I see them in person, I'm like, hello, Ma. Such an honor to see you again. Again? What did you see me? Now, immediately you've caught that person's attention. Even if the person does not know your OG. Now, the person is like, I know this face from somewhere, but is it the one? Is it not the one? That again, that means you have to have made sure you are ready. Because you want to give them that, oh, and I'm like, again, where did you meet? Oh, I didn't meet you in person, but I met you online. It's not a bad thing. For real. I've met you online, so it feels like I have met you already, man. And they're like, oh my God, interesting. Tell me things about me, or tell me things that you want to know, or what you do. And like, oh, the summit you attended, I loved it. You gave this, you gave that. And the person is already bought already. The person is already interested. And then there's always a follow-through, which I think is where a lot of people fail. A follow-up message to say, hello, Ma, you preached at this place, or you taught at this place, and I love what you taught. Thank you so much, Ma. And then the next thing, another time, hello, Ma, just checking in on you. Is there any other thing you want to do that you need my help for? I can help you with this and this and this and that. That is follow-up. And it's true that the person might say, oh no, thank you, I have everybody doing everything. But do you know that there's always going to be a problem that someone is trying to solve forever and ever? There's always going to be a problem. Is it forever and ever? Sorry, challenges, no problem. There's always going to be an obstacle that you can be the one to possibly remove from the person's front. And you might not be the one to remove it. You might have the contact of the person that will remove it. And the person is always going to be like, if I had not met, am I hearing? If I had not met Adeshewa, I would not have been able to meet Timlane. Thank God for Adeshewa in my life. So you don't always have to be the contact, the one that will solve all the problem. You can just be you can be Jesus. You can be Jesus. Okay, so moving on and wrapping up. So content and portfolio, the learn, do, teach. 5 posts, ideas. You can use them, you can check it, you can use it for what you want to do. And your brand can pay you before you graduate. Because one, we have freelancing, yes. We have consulting and coaching. People that do tutorial. Do you know that you can tell them, okay, you know what, organize this amount, let's do tutorial, I will teach you on this amount and you pay me this amount. And then the funny thing is that if you're a teacher, you actually never forget what to teach the person. It's true that the person might have 2 knowledge together, but you will never forget. Do we understand? And then we have problem solving, just normal WhatsApp communities. You can be a community manager. There's so many jobs that people are not thinking of. And you can also speak at events. Who told you cannot speak at events? Who told you? Who told you cannot write and say, please, I would like to speak at events? Okay, so last 2 years, myself and some other people, we organized LinkedIn Local with Lori. And someone sent a mail to us, hi, can I come and speak? And we went through our profile. Yes, it might not have been so solid like that, but we're like, okay, it's not everybody that has this thing to take an audacious step. And we invited them, say, you know what, come and be on the panelist. We might not give you the opportunity to speak, but come and be on the panelist. And with that, I was a panelist on. So it's not every time that you actually wait for opportunity to come to you. Say, go out and grab opportunity. Okay. And then the most powerful brand attribute no one talk about is being yourself. A good name is desirable than good riches. So God was talking about personal branding long ago before LinkedIn existed. Now skills get you into room, but your brand gets you to sit at the table. The Bible verse in Proverbs 22 verse 1, it says, a good name is more desirable than what? Than riches. Now a brand built on character outlasts every trend, algorithm and every competitor. There was a particular time they were dragging this lady online. What's her name? They drag a lot of people safe. Oh God. Okay, for example, let me use my spiritual lead, Apostle Emmanuel. Do we know him? They drag him a lot. But if they mention that, oh, Apostle is coming today, even the people that drag him, they're like, let's hear what he has to say, no matter what. And then if they even say that this person did this, you're like, this person cannot do this. There are some people, okay, I have a friend, this same, I think Okeodoti was telling me that his neighbor did something, stole something from someone. And because when he comes back in the evening, he used to sit down with the neighbor, they just chat and everything. And then the next thing, the person that came to arrest them were like, Mama, I know this boy too, they posted him, that person has posted him before. And the next thing, the police wanted to arrest the end of mine because they did not find the person they were looking for. Wait, if they arrest you, you will provide this one. And the guy was like, this is a steal. We are not that close. We just sit down, talk like guys talk. That's why I said it's important to know who you follow. We just sit down like guys talk. And then they were like, no, it's the thief. It was his neighbors that came to rescue him. The other neighbor down and they're selling something. And that's why it's important that you greet. Yes, that man might not like you, but just greet her and go. Just greet her and go. They were the ones that came to say, he cannot be this person. This person is our pastor in this compound. And they were like, no, they were going to arrest him. Those mama said, Mama, yeah, show me for excuse me. I will tear my clothes. I can swear on my life that this person can never do some kind of thing. Do you know the kind of personal brand? That brand is amazing. They are fighting for him. His head is very, very strong. And that's because they already know him for what? That he will never do such kind of a thing. What do people know that you will never do? And what do people know that you will do? Very important. Very important. Your character is very important. This one is long though. Maybe you should give them this person. Okay. So, like I said, you can go to the next slide. Like I said, write your brand statements. And this slide I wrote, try to write something about yourself. Google yourself. Check yourself on all your platforms. If you are, it is Poshy on Instagram. What's wrong with you? It is Poshy 2026. Your name is Anuoluwapo. Ham Adefila. No. We left that in Facebook in 2012. No. SOP. No. XUP. Someone, try to text in full. Very important. You are learners. That's why your parents are paying for school fees in the University of Ilori. And if you are self-sponsoring yourself, they still expect you to still be learned. There's nothing like SOP. There's nothing like you're entering someone's DM and you're saying, hello. What is hello? What is hello? Hello, my name is this. You just say hello, the person say hello. How are you doing? And the person is like, this person thinks I have a lot of time. My friend was telling me, Ambassador Gidado was telling me something one day that he knew someone that wrote to like someone in the African Union. And then the man was just like, who is this person? He was just curious and the person just said hello, and he said, hello. And he said, how are you? And he said, fine. He said, okay, so what are you doing? And I was like, is this person okay? This man even opened your message. Just go straight to, hello, my name is this. I need this from you. Can I help you to do this? And which is always important. Please always provide a solution first before you ask for something. Did we get that? Always provide what? Before what? Always do what? Before what? Please, no matter what is biting you in this life, always provide a solution first. Solution helps you to be remembered. People that are of the elite class don't really like it when people are begging them for money because that's what everybody does to them every single time.